Hey everybody, welcome back. Pro Carry Trucker. Finally got it. What I wanted. It's time to get back into the history videos. Awesome day to get back into them. I strayed from them from way too long. I highly encourage anybody interested in these videos to go back to my playlist. I got a playlist marked history videos. You can go through and catch up to the Battle of Bunker. I can't even talk. Up to the Battle of Bunker Hill. This was a very decisive turn of events in the progression towards the war, as far as it being considered an actual war and not just a rebellion or an uprising. Let's get started. I'm just going to read what I got wrote down. On the night of June 16th, 1775, a detail of American troops acting under orders from Artemas Ward moved out of their camp carrying picks, shovels, and guns. They entrenched themselves on a rise located on Charleston Peninsula overlooking Boston, their destination Bunker Hill. Ward's men misunderstood his orders. They went to Breed's Hill by mistake and entrenched themselves there, closer to the British position. The next morning the British were stunned to see the Americans, even though the Americans were in a superior position militarily. Major General William Howe, leading the British forces, could have easily surrounded the American ships at sea, but instead chose to march his troops uphill. Howe might have believed that the Americans would retreat in the face of a smashing head-on attack. He was wrong. His Majesty's ships opened fire on the Americans early in the afternoon. 28 barges of British soldiers crossed the hills. The Americans waited until the British were within 15 paces and then unleashed a bloody fusillade. Scores of British troops were killed or wounded. The rest retreated downhill. The British rushed the hill a second time, suffering a greater number of casualties. By the time the third wave of British charged the hill, the Americans were running low on ammunition. Hand-to-hand fighting ensued. The British eventually took the hill, but at a great cost. Of the 2,300 British soldiers who had gone through the ordeal, 1,054 were either killed or wounded. In London, the news of Bunker Hill convinced the king that the situation in the colonies had escalated into an organized uprising and must be treated as a foreign war. Accordingly, he issued a proclamation of rebellion. The British had taken the initiative, but they, like Washington, needed to establish a plan of action. How did they plan to win the war? With the help of loyal colonials. Quote, there are many inhabitants in every province well affected to the government, from whom no doubt we shall have assistance, unquote. General Howe of the British Army, or British military wrote. But he hedged. The Loyalists could not rally until His Majesty's armies have a clear superiority of victory. Howe needed supplies, reinforcements, and a scheme to suppress the rebels. Almost 11 months after the shots at Bunker Hill, Howe departed Boston and moved north to Nova Scotia to plan. Howe did win decisive victories later, but his assumption that the Loyalists would rally behind him was simply wrong. The reason the colonists fought for independence to get away from the English government. Almost exactly what's going on today. Too much government control. A lot believe unfair taxes today. We were supposed to be independent. The U.S. government was the base government. Every single state was supposed to be their own entity under the United States. Let's not forget. I will continue these. I'll try to get out at least one a week, if not one every 2 weeks. I don't want to stray away from these again. I want to get these knocked out. We are a little less than a year away. Say this was June 16th, 1775. So just a little more than a year away from July 4th, 1776. So I hope you keep watching. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate the thumbs up, and we'll catch you on the next video.